Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Military History Chronicles, coming live to you right after our episode of Giant Sports Talk Live. That was a great episode. If you guys haven't got to taken a look at it, we interviewed Mr. Tim Virgilio of Signatures for Soldiers. If you guys haven't had a chance to go check out that video, check it out. The guy has an incredible organization to help veterans, disabled veterans, and homeless veterans. If you get a chance, go check out that video and check out his website. Signatures for the number 4 soldiers. I think you guys would really enjoy that if you guys didn't get a chance to see it. Anyways, we're here talking military history. Today is going to be kind of encompassing a whole bunch of different things. Kind of what's been going on since I've been doing this channel. Seems like the world's just coming apart at the seams. I highlighted in the thumbnail. I highlighted a few hot spots. The biggest one right now, it looks like it might be the Middle East. You guys gonna have to keep an eye on that. We'll get into that. Of course, you got the ongoing war between Russia and Ukraine. You got Chinese still doing their thing in the South China Sea, specifically in the western part of the Philippines. And then you got the turmoil happening down in Venezuela after that election down there. You got a revolution that's occurring. It's going to be interesting to see how that pans out. The current president, Maduro, is claiming that he's the victor. There's a lot of let's say there's discrepancies in the tally of the votes down in Venezuela. It sounds like the people of that country have had enough of the type of government that Maduro, and if you think about it, even before Maduro, you had Hugo Chavez, who started the path down the communism path in Venezuela. It hasn't worked out too well down there, and I think people have seen enough. So it's going to be interesting to see how that is going to pan out. But we'll get into it. Will B should be with us shortly. Another thing that broke in the news today, as I was getting the show ready with the thumbnail, it broke about the prisoner swap between Russia and the United States. The Wall Street Journal reporter is finally being released. Along with some other guys. I think there's a former Marine in there somewhere, but we'll get into that here in a little bit. All right, let's bring in Will. Hey, what's up, Will?
Yo. What is cracking?
It's going, man. Hey, how about that show? Huh? Was that pretty good?
That's pretty cool, man. Yeah, I shared my units on Facebook.
Nice. Awesome. Yeah, I want to get I want to get the word out on that as much as possible because it's absolutely fantastic what he's doing. All right, let's see. Original Cap chimes in, says, I watched a lot of a Latino channel. They hate him, talking about Maduro. That's what I'm guessing. Yeah, that guy, it's a tyranny, man. That's what tyrannies do. They don't want to, they don't care about elections. It's all about keeping that power. It's going to be interesting to see how that pans out. I guess we could start there, Will. Is there any support that's coming out for those who are opposing Maduro? Because it sounds like he did not win the election, yet he says that he won the election.
No, I haven't really seen too much going on. The weirdest thing I saw today was Brazil stepping into the embassy that Argentina used to hold in Caracas. So there's a little interesting dynamic right there.
Well, there's an interesting, there is a dynamic there because the leader of Brazil is, I don't know if he's communist or
they're
socialist.
lockstep with Maduro.
Yeah. I was just going to say they're kind of, they're allies. I guess you could say they're allies. I mean,
yeah, they're kind allies.
I don't know
they
if
may
there's
not be
a formal alliance, a treaty, but they're friends. Let's say that.
It's a mutually beneficial relationship.
Yes.
If anything.
And it's going to be interesting to see how this goes down. The reason why I say it's interesting, do we as the United States and other democracies in the world, are we going to help the opposition in figuring this out? Do we or do we not?
Being so close to our own territory.
It's in our hemisphere. Remember the good old Monroe Doctrine? Remember? It's in our hemisphere.
That's a 7th Special Forces Group territory right there. That's their bread and butter. Old Dale.
It is. But
Whoa.
I mean, I don't know how far. We'll have to maybe take a look at some of this stuff. I don't know how deep the revolutionary tendencies are. Is the army turning on Maduro, or has he still got the support? Because if you got the support of the army, then it's going to be hard to do anything with just a bunch of people with some signs and flags. If you know,
It
what I
didn't seem
mean.
like they have any issues shooting on their own people the other day.
No, they don't. So I don't know what this could lead to, but it's going to be tough.
If you're in a country that outlaws weapons,
and here's the deal. This isn't the first time, because remember when Maduro got elected, there was also some issues about who actually won that election.
Oh yeah, the last time, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And the United States really didn't get involved. And again, are we going to get involved here? I don't know. I mean, here's the problem. This is a problem that you could run into. If you have people who are freedom loving, who want a democracy, and we don't support those people who want that freedom and democracy, even though it looks like that the election was rigged. What do you do? Or do you just stand back and say, okay, let them figure it out themselves and whatever comes around? Would it behoove us to get involved to make sure that we don't have an antagonist in Venezuela, because they have been?
Mm-hmm.
And
well, I mean, it already looks like Miele. How do you pronounce that guy's name? I'm not good with Spanish names. Miele, wherever his name is out there in Argentina, has already been beating the war drum since the whole thing
I think that's
started.
his name. Javier.
Milei,
yeah.
Libertarian guy or something like that. I guess
he ain't messing around. He's pretty much thrown down the gauntlet. I think there's a lot of nations out there.
Well, he laid out some really interesting terms not terms, but terminology. That's a better way of putting it. He reminded all Maduro there, hey, as far as we're concerned, we see you like the Falkland Islands. You belong to Argentina. Your territory is ours. And I was like, whoa, that's pretty potent right now. Especially with a guy like Maduro with the backing of Bolsonaro down there in neighboring.
He's not exactly very popular in Brazil either.
No, he's not. People see him for what he is.
They don't like him. As a matter of fact, there was protests where millions of people
he
have protested.
Put it to an analogy for us here in the United States, he's very much like Biden over there. Kind of looked at kind of the same kind of light, or Trudeau in Canada right now. Yep. Hey, right on, Niners Empire. Hey, Tom, how you doing, man?
What do we got out there? Just taking a look at Twitter.
Guys. We got the
What's up, Tom? What's up, Niner? Good to see you guys. Hey, thanks, Niner. Appreciate that, buddy. Hopefully you enjoy. We're going to be on every single day. As our good friend up there, Glenn, Northern Lights Entertainment, likes to say, 365 days a year. Even on Christmas, you never know. Maybe you get a present. Maybe you get a lump of coal. You never know.
Oh, did it really? Hold on, D-Show. Let me go into...
what's up?
Sometimes YouTube holds comments back if you say something that's on a naughty list.
Shouldn't be.
I shouldn't. Let me go in there and check.
I'm a peruse.
Yeah. While you do that,
what do we got here?
D-Shot's now. Huh, I'm not even seeing it.
They're showing the guys coming off the plane. Well, again, not going to worry about that right now. Let's see. I just want to take a gander. What's new? I don't see anything new coming out of Venezuela.
You guys hear any reverb out of my microphone? My damn air conditioner is like,
nope, you sound fine. There. You sound
cool.
Fine.
Right on. The vent.
Yeah, I'm not there. It seems like there hasn't been any new news coming out of Venezuela, so I don't know what the deal is. Maybe you guys, if you guys can find anything, let me know if there's any updates. But it seems like it's just kind of.
I haven't even seen any of the right.
The biggest news is the whole, Maduro challenging Elon Musk to a fight. I don't know what the hell that's all about. Some weird stuff, man. It's like, what are you talking about? Come on. But I don't know how that's gonna. I don't know how that's going to play itself out. Yeah, there definitely needs to be support for this one. Correct. It says, guys, I hate to say it, but the U.S. is heading down the Venezuela path, just in a nicer way.
Yeah, it is what it is. It's what it is.
Mm. Coming with some.
Don't forget, there's
strong
still that
talk.
border dispute there in Guyana as well.
Guyana.
Still
I think
ongoing.
I got a feeling that that's going to fall by the wayside right now. Maduro's just trying to stay in power right now. I don't think he's going to try to start. And if he tries to go into Guyana now, it's going to. He's asking. I mean, he's already asking to get some type of. I would think that there's going to be some type of retaliatory act.
So the opposition leader is currently in hiding.
Of course he is. The guy who won the election. You talking about that guy? What was his name?
I'm talking about Maria. The initial.
Oh, the guy from the first election.
Maria Corina Machado.
That was the first guy. That was back
the
in
female. The female.
It was a guy. It wasn't a guy who actually won it, like Gonzalez or something like. I can't remember what his name is.
Yeah, Mundo Gonzalez. Yeah, he's
he's the one that won it. He's the one that won the.
But she's the one that's in hiding.
Really interesting. Tom says the world is as crazy as ever. Yeah, that's kind of why I titled that "The Trying Times," for the simple fact that there's so much stuff going on, man. You know, we're talking here about Venezuela. We're going to get into some bigger things than that here.
They have a body count already: 13 dead, 93 injured.
Interesting. But what's going on? Is there still protests? Because I know they've taken over police stations. I know some of the police have turned over to I call them the revolutionaries, because that's, they're trying to overthrow Maduro. Well, I shouldn't say overthrow in the sense that he's saying that he was elected president, but he's not.
Right.
That's why I'm using that term, even though there's, like I said, there's issues with how they tabulated the votes. But I think the United States needs to get involved. That's me. I mean, I know a lot of people say we got to stay out of people's, but you know what? You got some free people who do you think they're looking up to? They're looking up to countries like the United States to come help them, because Maduro has the backing of the army, and what can they possibly do against the army? Unless the army decides to coup against Maduro, the guys with the guns and the tanks, that usually they usually the ones that win out.
It's like
there's going to be other communist countries that are going to be helping Venezuela. You got China who's involved in Venezuela. You got the Russians who are involved. You got Iran who's involved with Venezuela. So you got a lot of antagonists.
Right. So if you don't do some, guess who will? They'll slide right on in. And it's already been proven that.
Here's the problem: they have no bones in being able to go in there and be part of this, while the free-loving democracies stand back and take their time, rather than being a little bit more proactive, being a little bit more determined.
What's the difference between this and Vietnam, or hell, let's even say Panama? Actually, Panama is a really good analogy, very analogous to this current Venezuela situation completely.
Yeah.
Although we weren't using Maduro to, run drugs through our own country or nothing. But, maybe we'll find out if we did.
Glenn says the end of the U.S. economic sanctions imposed after Maduro's victory in 2018 presidential election, which was widely dismissed as either free or fair. I'm not sure. I think there was economic sanctions against Venezuela during Hugo Chavez, right? And then when he got elected, they dropped them, or they kept them in place.
Well, that would have been a long time ago if it was dropped.
That was 2018, man. That was 2018. That's during Trump's presidency. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what happened.
Chavez was gone before then, what?
Chavez had died shortly before then, right? Because that's why they had the election, because Chavez died. I think that's about the time he died, right?
No, he died in 2013. So yeah, it'd been
he did.
Been a long time ago. Yeah.
Then who was running the country after?
That's right. Because I remember watching it on TV when I was at Fort Lewis. It was Kim Jong-il, then him right afterwards.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what they're going to do, man. Pinterest controversial. Glenn is right. The sanction ended in 2018. Oh, okay. Interesting. Limited sanctions. Oil companies getting permits from. Well, there you go.
There you go. Okay.
There you go. Because that's the issue. That's what drives Venezuela's economy. It's the oil. The reason why they want to go into Guyana is because off the shore of Guyana is a huge oil deposit. And they want to try to take that over so they can nationalize. Because if I'm not mistaken, it was Hugo Chavez. Yeah, I think he had cancer, Hugo Chavez. Hugo Chavez wound up nationalizing all the freaking oil. So all those oil companies who were making hand over fist with oil, they got it taken away from them. They lost all that investment, all that money that they put into to take the oil out of the bottom of the ocean. They lost it all because Chavez
it all went to Maduro's fancy tracksuit fund.
Well, at first it went to Chavez, then it eventually went to Maduro.
Right, yeah.
So that's one of the issues is you got when you're a country that has oil, unfortunately, the way that it is, people are going to want to do business with you. The West, not so much. I mean, you still get some oil, but of course they're supplying China. They're probably supplying, well, they don't really have to supply Iran, but China is probably a big guy. Probably Brazil, I would think. Oh, yeah. I don't think I think they probably need to import some oil.
Right.
I know the United States used to import a lot of oil from Venezuela. I don't know what the percentages are now, but I know they were fairly significant. But let's see if the United States gets involved. I don't know. I guess time will tell. It would be pretty sad if Maduro actually stays in power, because this is the time. If you're going to do something, this is the time to do it. Because obviously, from what everyone's saying, I mean, you got Tony Blinken, the Secretary of State, saying that the other guy won. Hey, what's up, Chardal? The other guy won.
He said it right after Maduro finished his speech. He was actually Blinken was giving a speech in Tokyo, and then that's when he came out and he addressed the situation with Maduro. He goes, yeah, it was fraudulent, yada yada. He went off on a whole tangent there, and then he left the podium. Hey, what's going on, Chardal?
Let's see what we got here. Oh, here we go. Is this it? Yeah, this came out 3 hours ago. Secretary of State Blinken says electoral data overwhelmingly demonstrate the will of the Venezuelan people. Democratic opposition candidate Imundo won the most votes in Sunday's election. Venezuelans have voted, and their votes most count. Now, what are you going to do? Well, that's a lot of talk.
It's a lot of rhetoric.
It's a lot of talk, but what you're going to have to take some damn action here. You're going to have to take some action, because again, you start losing credibility across the globe, because who's looking at this? Taiwan's probably looking at this. Okay. If you're not going to go help Venezuela when it's obviously that, there's issues with a dictator wanting to stay in power, and they're not going to go in and do that. What's Taiwan to say? Hey, are they going to come protect us if China decides rolling? I mean, I don't know. There's much you can do.
A great example on that too is why do you think Japan wants to get rid of their self-defense force and raise an actual military?
Yes, they do. The self-defense is going to go by the wayside. They want to exactly, but you're going to have to adjust the treaty, because there's a treaty saying they can't have a standing army, Air Force, Navy, whatever it is. Cryptic says, "Do we have credibility?" Well, let's think about this.
A lot of bluster.
I don't think so. Now, one thing I will give credit right now, that prisoner exchange was actually pretty decent. That for them to be able to pull that off was actually pretty surprising. I didn't see that coming. I don't know if you did, Will, but I did not see that coming.
Yeah, that came out of left field.
Yeah, it did. So I like seeing that. Take all politics aside. I don't give a shit if it had happened under a Democratic president or a Republican president. They were able to do a prisoner swap, and they could bring some Americans home that did not belong in prison in Russia. So it is what it is. But like I was saying, you got these other countries who are watching, if other antagonists are messing with a certain country, do or does the United States have their back? I don't know.
Remains to be seen.
All right, let's segue from Venezuela. I think that's enough. Unless some other news breaks about Venezuela, we'll go back to it. But the big news of the day, a couple of days ago, Israel was able to assassinate one of the top leaders of Hamas. I think it was their political leader. I think it was his official title or something.
Yeah, he was their top wizard.
I'm not trying. I don't know how you pronounce his last name, but I know it's Ishmael is his first name.
Ishmael.
The information coming out and the operation that undertook was pretty interesting. Initially, I think they were saying that it was an airstrike.
Yeah,
but it wasn't an airstrike. Supposedly, it was an explosive device placed in this residence months ago. Months ago. Hold on, let me see if I can find it.
Hold on. Was this a slow burn or what, man? That's pretty okay. That's pretty badass. Holy smoke! By the way, isn't Ishmael the name of that dude on Kingpin? Anybody remember that movie?
I don't know.
Remember
Here
Kingpin?
it is.
Never mind. That's off topic.
Let me show you this
That's
again. Take it for what I'm pulling this off Twitter. Take it for what it's worth. But this is coming from Defender. Usually Defender's pretty good. Yeah, I just call him Defender. He's pretty good. It says, despite ongoing claims by Iran that Hamas chief political officer Ismail Haniyeh, I don't want to, whatever. It's Ismail. I'm just going to say Ismail. Was assassinated by an Israeli missile strike on his residence in Tehran. U.S. and Middle Eastern officials are now reported that the Hamas leader was actually killed by a remote-triggered explosive device that was smuggled into the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps guest house several months before the assassination, with the device similar to the remote-triggered machine gun that was used by Mossad in 2020 that killed the top Iranian nuclear scientist, Motion. But I guess that's where that Ishmael was staying at the time. That's quite interesting. It's gonna, more will come out from it as far as what exactly and how, there's going to be, it may not be in the near term, but there's going to be historical analysis of how this happened. And it's going to be quite interesting. That is some cloak and dagger stuff right there, man. That is cloak and dagger stuff.
Have you ever seen that video game Hitman? That's the kind of stuff that happens in Hitman, where like you'll leave like a pill bottle in somebody's drink, and like an hour later they drink it and they die. Oh, assassination happened. You could go, you can go escape and exfiltrate and all that. That's wild, man. That is
it's pretty interesting.
That's going to be on Netflix in about, I don't know, probably about a year and a half from now.
Maybe. Tom Wyert's diversion a little bit. It says Giant Sports Talk Live. Is that a new show? Yes, it is, Tom.
Yep.
I haven't heard about it, but I'm interested. Go check it out. Just type in Giant Sports Talk Live. You'll see myself and Glenn every night talking Giants. So, yeah, if you want to check it out, Tom, be much appreciated, buddy. I know you're a dedicated viewer here on Military History Chronicles. Be awesome. If you want to hear Giants talk, we'll be over there talking about it. All right. So the aftermath, the thing is, you got Israel who's taking out the leadership of Hamas in Tehran, the capital of Iran. He was there to inaugurate the new president that they had just elected in Iran. And Israel got their chance, and they took him out. This is one of the main characters that was involved in the October 7th operation of Hamas against Israel. He was on their target. Israel said it. These guys are enemy number one. I think I can't remember who the other guy. There's another Hamas official, I guess you would say, that's up there as well.
They schwacked 2 in quick time, I believe. Yeah,
they're not messing around. Israel doesn't mess around, man. When they say they're going to do something, they're going to do something. Now, the big talk has been, is Iran going to retaliate? Whole bunch of reports are coming out saying that it's coming. They said that there will be an attack from Iran against Israel because of the assassination of that Hamas leader.
What about that missile barrage today, though? Was that them?
That was Hezbollah, supposedly.
Okay.
That's nothing compared to what supposedly, from what I'm hearing. I mean, it's not, again,
Gotcha.
it's not based in unconfirmed reports, I guess is the best way to say it. But I guess they're waiting for the burial of Ishmael. And then once that's done, then I guess shortly thereafter, that's when Iran will retaliate.
Cool.
I guess there's reports saying Israel has let it be known to many people using back channels, to the United States, to even to Iran, saying, if you retaliate, we are not afraid of going to a full-scale war. They are not afraid to just go ahead and just you want to fight to the death? All right, here we go. So it's going to be interesting to see how this works out. Supposedly, United States is fully backing Israel.
Right.
The United States is afraid that U.S. assets in Iraq and in Syria will also be attacked.
They will.
So, and if that's the case, then that drags us into the mix.
Yep. Don't forget our allies too that are also there with us, if they so choose to be involved. But they do have troops there as well.
It's going to be interesting how this is going to. Yes,
hey,
correct. Hope. Hey, what's up, Hope? It is. It's scary stuff. 100% scary stuff.
No, these are not good times. And when you got a country like Israel saying we're going to go total war,
full scale war in the region. That's the one thing that the United States has been trying to avoid the whole time. But you know what? This is the problem. This is the issue that I have, is because the leadership is lacking in the United States to be able to try to prevent this from happening. It should have never got to this point.
We're not in a position to mediate. We don't have any leverage here. We
don't.
We're sackless. We are sackless and toothless. That's the worst position to be in.
And you can't be in that. And look, and when I mean by playing a part in the Middle East,
thank you, Lisa. Exactly.
It doesn't mean you go around just blowing people up. There's other ways that you can project strength. Granted, having a strong military helps. Having assets in place help. But there's, backroom type of conversations that are happening. And if these antagonists, I keep using that word, don't fear the United States, again, because of the reaction that the United States has, especially let's look at this. Ever since October 7th, how many times have U.S. forces been attacked in Iraq and Syria?
Oh my God.
Numerous times. And the only thing we've ever done is dropped a couple of bombs and launched a couple of missiles, and that was about it. There was no serious response for attacks on U.S. forces.
We've lost, 22 troops since then?
I don't know. There's a lot of injured, over 100 injured, but only 3 deaths that I know about.
Okay.
That's all I know about as far as that.
Maybe I'm talking about total chaos. We can't.
Glenn says, to what scale would this war you speak reach? Whoo. You know what? Here's the problem, Glenn. You can't. There's no way. One thing, when bullets start flying and bombs start dropping, it takes a life of its own. There's no guarantee that it just stays in this one little area, or that it, only a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Once war starts, it escalates. Look what happened. Look what's going on in the Ukraine and Russia. Ukraine is starting to attack facilities within Russia itself. Oil refineries, attacking airfields within Russia itself. Prior, they weren't. It was pretty much just concentrated in Ukraine itself, but it's beginning to broaden. Not only that, you got Russia, who is reaching out to North Korea, to China, to Iran to help them. So again, it's expanding there. There's nothing, you cannot sit there and say if war starts in the Middle East that it's going to be confined to the Middle East. You don't know. You just don't know.
And that's the other thing too. Keep in mind, when Israel says they're going to do total war, look what they did to Gaza. I mean, that is total freaking war right there. When they decide they want to go to war, they're very heavy-handed, and they have been for 2,000 years.
Yeah.
So.
Take a look at history. Check out the 6 Days War.
6 Days
War. Yeah.
Man, that was an ugly one. Didn't last long, but it was a lot of casualties.
There was.
No mercy.
And only Thanks, Tom.
Right on,
Appreciate
Tom.
that, buddy. The reason why they call it the 6-Day War because Israel put such a whooping on the rest of the Middle Eastern countries that were attacking. Yeah,
It decimated whole air forces, whole navies, whole tank batteries. I mean,
they took over the Sinai.
Yep,
Israel took over
Canal.
They took over the Suez. They got to the Suez Canal. They
Right.
went up into the Golan Heights. They never released that back. But
Yeah.
look how many Middle Eastern political leaders are in the 80s were quite interesting. Even you could even go back to the 60s, late 60s.
Starts
early
in the 50s, kind of the Islamic Revolution, the seeds of it at least.
Yes. I mean, there was a lot of the Middle East was really big they were a significant part of the Cold War.
At that time, we were all allies with them. We were all good to go, man.
No, it wasn't Nasser. It was Sadat who got assassinated.
Sadat.
Nasser, he played off both the Americans and
yeah.
the Soviet Union.
I get you, PMD.
Yeah, he was definitely he was a smooth operator there in Egypt during the 60s and 70s, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, I see what you're saying. Oh, they're in their 80s. Okay, gotcha.
Have you guys ever watched the Saddam series on HBO?
No.
It's pretty damn good. Highly recommend that.
Is it?
Came out in 2008 or so. Really good series.
What time will the Giants show be on? We're going to be on tomorrow night at 8:00, Tom. Usually when they're away, we'll be able to go on at 8:00. When they go back to the Midwest and to the East, we could go on at 8:00. When they're here at home, it's going to be later, probably closer to 9:30, 10 o'clock. All depending on when the team, unless Logan Webb is on the mound, then we'll be on less than 2 hours. But
if you guys haven't seen the show that the guys did tonight, I highly recommend that. They got some sweet merch donated to them.
Yeah, how about
very
that?
Sweet merch for the show that's going to end up going to one of you guys.
It is. It's going to be fun. Yeah.
Oh my God.
We had a guy. His name is Tim Virgilio, and he is the founder of Signatures for Soldiers. He helps disabled veterans and homeless veterans, and the way he does that is he sells sports memorabilia, and he donated a Madison Bumgarner Game 7 2014 World Series card, and we will be able to there will be a lucky winner and on our show over there, so it should be pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, check it out. If you go check out Giant Sports Talk Live, you could see we had a 1-hour interview with him, and you guys should enjoy it.
Great dude.
But yes, so that's what Israel has said. They're not afraid to say, you know what, you want to have at it? Let's have at it. We're ready, man.
Well, and here's the thing. They're not playing around.
They're not playing around. This is not, look, when Israel says this stuff, it is not just
not rhetoric.
talk. There's no rhetoric. Hey, what's up, Jimmy? Yeah, double duty
man?
Tonight. Yep, 100%. Let me see real quick what we got here.
I'm going to go refresh live UA map in case anything happened.
Yeah, I'm taking a look at, what do we got here? Don't know that.
Oh, wow. We got 15 people watching. Thanks for joining us late at night, man.
Yeah, I appreciate that, guys. Hey, guys, couldn't do the show without y'all.
Like
appreciate
us,
it.
man. That's
yeah,
cool.
yeah, that's us.
To a team, man. Me and this guy will be talking almost 4 o'clock in the morning sometimes, man.
that happens.
It does. It's fun.
That happens. Fun. Okay, here it is. The names of the people. Oh, my. I almost had it right. Evan Gershkovich. Paul Whelan. Vladimir Kara-Murza. And Alsu Kurmashiva. 4 Americans who were released from Russian prisons earlier today following a massive prisoner exchange is on its final approach. Okay, it's already landed, but those are the 4 Americans who were released.
I take it the guys with the Russian names are probably assets?
No, they're probably they're political figures that were probably opposing Putin.
Well,
you know how that goes.
Right,
you
exactly,
oppose Putin.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ooh,
yeah.
that's interesting. Yeah, good. That's a good pool there, Hope. I remember the Iran hostage crisis, along with the hyperinflation. That is what some 100%. Yep.
Oh, man.
That
dude,
whole
thing
hostage
was
situation.
Just,
Oh my God. Do you remember that operation where they tried to go rescue him and they
they
crashed in the middle of the
crashing and
desert?
burning, and they had the CIA had to make up a movie called Argo to get them out of there, and oh my Lord.
What a total debacle that was, man.
Disaster.
What was it? Wasn't the helicopters collided with the C-130 that was refueling?
C-130, yeah. Those are Delta. That was Delta Force's very first fucking mission too.
Not very good. It didn't turn off too well.
No, they didn't do well at all, man.
And then, of course, the hyperinflation. That.
Well, the following year, they had a Navy guy pulled off a plane and executed on the tarmac.
Yep, you had a colonel or a general. Remember, he was at the UN.
Oh, he was killed. He was tortured.
He was in Beirut, right? It was in Beirut.
Tortured. Yeah, he was tortured.
Yep. So there was a lot of things happening during that time, and for the Biden administration to pull off this prisoner exchange was pretty remarkable. I have to give him kudos. Give him kudos for that, because I didn't think that the Wall Street Journal guy was ever going to get released. And that Paul Whelan,
I don't think it was his idea.
That Paul Whelan guy has been in there for even longer than him, right?
Right.
So it's great to see.
Right. It wasn't his idea, but whoever was running, whoever's doing politics there did a good job. I mean, I don't care what party that they were from. That was
you got to acknowledge that, because you can't make that political. That's just
100%, man. We got some good people back, and it's not like you paid for them. The freaking bullshit thing they did 3 years ago with that one chick who should probably still be in Russia for all.
Oh yeah. I see what you're talking about.
Or excuse me, that dude. Anyways.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Hey, Robert, how you doing, man?
What's up, Robert?
In our chat.
Glenn says, Will, what I took from tonight's Sports Talk Live was I found interest in players that I wasn't all in like me. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That was cool to find out, man.
That story is pretty good. What's up, Steve-O? What was the trade? They gave up. Okay, I think it was did you guys hear about that Russian guy in Germany? Didn't he try to murder, or did he murder somebody in Europe? I can't remember. But they had him in jail for a long time. He was a Russian spy, and he was part of the exchange that went back to Russia, if I'm not mistaken.
Well,
I'm not sure who else was involved in that. Let's see. I don't.
Oh, excuse me. I'm talking about. I blinked out. I was thinking about the grinder thing.
Ooh, whoa! Look at this. Hold on. Let's get into this.
Hey, let's go on, Erico.
Let's get into. Ooh, I like this.
Yeah, let's pull it up.
Hold on 1 second. This is going to be good. Oh, here we go. This is going to be interesting. We're staying on topic with what's going on in.
Yeah, man, Eric's good people
in Israel. Here we go. What's up, Eric? Good to see you, man.
I used to live just down the road from Eric.
That's right. Yep. This is coming from the Institute for the Study of War.
All right, here we go.
They are a good follow.
Mm-hmm.
Take a. If you guys are interested in warfare and stuff like that, it's up to y'all. It's not for everybody, but they have some very good information. It says this is kind of long. Iran could inadvertently trigger an expanded conflict with Israel and even the United States if Iran launches an attack along the lines described here. If they launch, here it is. Here's the criteria. If they launch hundreds of projectiles and inherently risky, particularly given the failure rate of that Iranian missiles have shown, technical errors could even cause severe collateral damage, as demonstrated in a recent Hezbollah attack that killed 12 Israeli children in the Golan Heights. Remember, that's fresh in the news as well. The risk is even higher given reports that Iran is planning to target locations near Haifa and Tel Aviv. Both cities are far more populated than the two remote locations that Iran targeted in earlier April. Remember when they launched those hundreds of missiles and drones? The risk of civilian casualty is thus very high, even if Iran does not mean to strike civilian targets around Haifa and Tel Aviv. Iran could trigger an expanded war if it kills Israeli civilians or inflicts severe damage, regardless of whether Iran intends to avoid an overt war. I can't say it. Overt war. I can't say and overt back to back. Anyways, it may not be immediately obvious to Israeli leaders that a large strike aimed at one or two targets is not, in fact, aimed at a much wider target set. Moreover, drones have long ranges and often fly far beyond their targets before turning to hit them from the rear. The risk of miscalculation in a strike such as the one described is very high. Oh my, this is going to get, hold on. No, some Iranian and state media have called for targeting Israeli political and military leaders in response to Ismail's death. I'm not saying that that's damn last name.
That would be.
Go ahead.
Ooh.
Lebanese Hezbollah Secretary General Hassan Nasrallah warned on August 1st of an inevitable retaliation against Israel in response to Israel because they killed a senior Hezbollah official, Fuad Shakur.
Damn.
So,
2-pack?
Yeah.
2-pack?
And there's more into this.
Excuse me. What am I talking about? Jeez.
So if you go to this website here, you see they got footnotes in there. So they're using they're definitely using secondary or primary sources in their reports here. Lebanese
they're pulling from media, in other words.
Yeah, exactly. Nasrallah made this remark in a televised speech at a funeral of Shakur. That was the name of the bad guy in No Country for Old Men, by the way. The IDF conducted an airstrike killing Shakur, who was considered Nasrallah's right-hand man in Beirut on July 30th. The IDF killed Shakur in response to Hezbollah's conducting a rocket attack in the Golan Heights, which killed 12 Israeli children. That was big news earlier. Nasrallah said the Israeli did not realize which lines it has crossed in killing Shakur and announced a new phase of Hezbollah operations on all support fronts. Nasrallah suggested that this new phase would include continued attacks into northern Israel. Hezbollah has conducted regular attacks into northern Israel beginning on October of 2023, but largely paused the attacks after killing the 12 Israeli children on July 13th. Nasrallah said in his speech that these attacks would resume the morning of August 2nd, which is now over there, right? It's already out. Yeah, it's already in the morning of August 2nd.
It's the future.
Nasrallah has also explained that this new phase of escalation will involve an unspecified retaliation for killing Shakur. Nasrallah claimed that the Israeli airstrike that killed Shakur also killed 5 Lebanese civilians. This framing is especially noteworthy given that Nasrallah threatened on July 17th to attack civilian targets deep in Israel if Israeli airstrikes kill Lebanese civilians. There's also some what is this? This is a long thread.
What we got here? Access.
There's a lot of stuff into this. This is 3.
Points. Yeah, it's bullet points.
Yeah, here we go. Okay, bullet point. One of the most dangerous and increasingly likely scenarios is that Iran and the axis of resistance. Again, axis of resistance, guys, is Hamas, Hezbollah, Islamic Jihad, and the Houthis. And the Houthis. That is the quote unquote the axis of resistance. Scenarios that Iran and axis of resistance launch a combined large-scale drone and missile attack that incorporates lessons from the April attack earlier this year. But where's number 2?
They might have deleted it. Looks like they just went to 3.
Come on, they went straight to 3. Whatever.
Yeah,
Hezbollah.
That's 2.
You know what? Let me hit this. Usually, if I hit, I already did hit it. Whatever.
No, see how they put 3 and 3.
I'm not gonna. Hezbollah, the Houthis, and Iranian-backed militias in Iraq and Syria could launch simultaneous attacks to further strain Israeli air defenses as well. See, they repeated it.
Yeah,
drones and missiles launched from Iraq, Lebanon, and Syria would be much harder to intercept than the ones from Iran, given the shorter distances and flight times to Israel. U.S. and Israeli forces would have significantly less time to intercept those projectiles.
They still would, though.
It would take Hezbollah drones around 15 minutes to reach Haifa, around 40 minutes flying time on direct paths to reach Tel Aviv, for instance. Iran would alternatively exploit the short flight times to concentrate a smaller volume of fire against a single target in Israel rather than against 2
Quick pause.
Shorter flight times for the drones.
Go ahead. Okay, finish that.
Could make it easier to coordinate them with ballistic missiles fired from Iran.
Do we still have any missile batteries in the AO?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
Cool.
We got Patriots there, if I'm not mistaken.
Cool.
If Iran, and I think we got some destroyers off the Mediterranean that can help as well.
Oh, that's right.
If Iran and its partners and proxies can concentrate drones and missiles on Israeli targets simultaneously, they may have reason to expect that the destruction caused by one can facilitate penetration by another. Okay, hold on. This is just getting more into the
going into the weeds a little bit, but yeah, we get
the gist of it. Exactly. Yeah. So it's going to be interesting, guys. It's going to be interesting to see what happens in the Middle East. I'm trying to remember. Why did
I'll tell you what, though, if they're right about that and they do end up killing a Israeli politician, holy shit, that'll be the end all be all right there, man. That would stir something righteous in those people and in that government that we've never seen before, other than the 6 days war, like you were talking about before.
And here's the thing: I'm trying to remember what precipitated that Iranian attack on Israel. What did Israel do? They did something, and I can't remember what it was.
Oh shit!
Remember, they launched all those missiles and drones, and I'm trying to remember what Israel did for Iran to do that.
Didn't they strike Iran itself?
No, they struck Iran afterwards. Remember, Israel retaliated by attacking their airfield.
What was that all about? You guys remember that? It's been
I cannot. I know there's so many.
This is what I hate about the new world and the social media, because you forget things that are very important like this. They did the.
I'm trying to remember. Israel did something. And Iran retaliated.
No, there wasn't. It was a call and response, as we would call it in the army.
My gosh, I can't remember. Maybe it'll come to me.
Right, that's back in April, and they launched the whole drone army and everything, like you've seen on Call of Duty, and some wildness, man. Yeah, there was.
I can't remember. Pissing me off.
Well, hold on. Didn't they assassinate a general?
That's what they did.
That's what it was. They assassinated a couple of generals.
An Iranian embassy in Syria.
There was the embassy. Yes.
Yeah,
that was
what
it.
They did.
And then it pissed them off, and they might as well pissed on the hornet's nest. And it was
it was the Iranian general that it wasn't the embassy proper. It was a building within the confines of the grounds. Yeah.
And now they schwacked a Hamas leader.
And now they in
Tehran, and now Tehran's got egg all over their face, like a big old giant ostrich egg.
We got to think about this too. It's more about being embarrassed. They basically think about it. It's more about credibility. Okay.
Well,
if you're a radical Islamist like Iran, right?
Keep going. I'm not going to
stop.
And
you got people who are supporting you because of your ideologies, right? And they come to find out the Zionists that they can't stand actually conduct an operation on their land. How do they hold their credibility? Yes. And how do they hold that credibility? So they're almost forced to have to retaliate. But because of that, what does it unlock when you do that? It's weird how all this stuff can really just snowball.
No, you good, D-Shot. Hey man, you be you, man. Nobody's gonna tell you otherwise. But
D-Shot, man.
But check it out, man. Like, you were deployed in that area. You know how it's like over there. Those guys. What is one of the worst things they could do as a man is lose face.
Lose face, Dad. It's huge honor. It's an honor thing. It's kind of the same thing. If you think about it, I mean, you understand that being part Japanese when you're Asian. Yeah. It's an honor. That's really big.
It's funny, had the highest suicide rate in the world, man. I dishonored my family, so I'm gonna go jump off a bird.
Let's go back to even our revolutionary times here in the United States. You dishonored someone's honor.
Oh, dude! Now you're dueling it out.
You're dueling. I mean, look what happened with Hamilton and Burr. I mean, that's a primitive. I mean, that's just. But that was something that was practiced a lot. And you just did not do that. And that lasted for a very long time. Nowadays, if you disrespect someone's honor today, it's like, whatever. But in some of these other countries, I mean, that is huge.
It's a fight to the death in these other countries.
And it's interesting because you should learn that type of stuff, especially when you're fighting. If you have we'll say, just to make it easier, if you have an enemy And if you don't know their psychology and their culture and you could go in blind and not understand, especially if when bullets and bombs start flying, and then it comes time to negotiate. If you don't know who you're negotiating with to stop the hostilities or from further escalation or to sue for peace, if you don't know who you're talking to, you're gonna have some issues.
Oh man!
So it's something that you need to know, and I think this retaliation is going to be partly because of that, because they were embarrassed by the quote unquote Zionists.
Exactly.
They don't like it.
All comes. I was gonna. I don't need to add on what you said, but I'll go ahead and do it anyways because it's on top of my mind. But I mean, go to Pakistan or go to Eastern Afghanistan where the Pashtuns are and tell a yo mama joke.
Oh, you're gonna lose a head.
Wow. You're gonna lose, like that, man.
You're gonna lose a head. Right. I mean, it's different, man. That's all I could say. It's different.
Warrants a different meaning in different countries. 100%.
And it's gonna be interesting. We'll definitely have to go because it's not gonna happen now. But
that's one thing I think and that's the other thing too. When we think about somebody who's presidential, who we want to be in office, keep in mind, again, words have different meanings in other countries, and they're translated different ways. You want somebody who's able to navigate that easily. You think, I'm not going to go down that one. We're done there. Dude, hey. Niners Empire said, dude, you still like your mama joke in Chechnya? Oh, Bubba. Babushka, man, she'll cut your head off yourself.
Well, hey, that's a great segue because so we could get over to the Russian-Ukrainian War.
Yes, let's do it. Let's get into it.
One of the biggest updates. Guess what? The Ukrainian Air Force is starting to fly.
Stop. I don't even want to think
Did you hear about that?
Oh, come again? My bad.
Did you hear what the Ukrainian Air Force was starting to fly? Saw some pictures.
Was it the F-35s we gave?
F-16s have arrived in Ukraine. After years of trying to get the stupid aircraft, they finally are in country and they are participating in the fight against Russia. So that's pretty big. It's a more advanced weapon system than what the Russians are fielding with the MiG-29 and the Su-27s. So they got a frontline aircraft that can go out there and do some damage for the Ukrainian, or they could do damage for the Ukrainian. What do they call them? The UAR, the Ukrainian Armed Forces, or UAF. I think it's Ukrainian Armed Forces.
The Viper may be an old bird, but tell you what.
It's been modified so many different times. It's much more modern. Yeah.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
It's much more modern than what
Same
the
with the
Ukrainians
we got today too. Oh
yeah. It's incredible.
Oh, man, I'm just visualizing the F-15 and F-16 side by side. I'm just like,
Yeah, I know. They're fantastic.
It's an amazing picture.
Yes, they can. The Ukrainians can actually fly those
jets. Some of the best pilots, actually.
They got some fantastic pilots, and they've been trained in not only, I think they're being trained in the United States and in Europe.
They are.
And they're excellent pilots, man. They're excellent pilots.
I think they have some in Oklahoma that are being trained.
I know they're all over the place. Yep.
And I think Cannon Air Force Base up north here is
now something that I started thinking about with the United States and Russia being able to agree on a prisoner swap. Is this a cooling of where maybe some dialogue could begin to start happening in ending the war in Ukraine?
No.
Or do you think it's just they were able to get it done, but it has absolutely no effect on what's going on in Ukraine?
What you just said there.
You think so? Yeah.
Yeah. There's really not going to be, and then the Russians know this too. There's not going to be able to have any dialogue until they have a new leader in office here in the United States, or who they perceive to be the new leader at least. And
it's going to be interesting.
That's my belief.
It's going to be interesting. I don't know what's gonna happen here. I guess we could touch this a little bit. Sounds like Governor Shapiro is the front runner to be the vice president for
I had a
Vice President Harris.
Did you guys see my viral freaking I don't know if you guys, I should post it. I had a viral comment on Fox News Network.
You did?
About the crazy cat ladies.
No.
So they interviewed this woman. Okay. I don't know if we should. Okay, whatever. I'll just go ahead and say it. So so JD Vance was talking about the crazy cat ladies and all that fun stuff. And so they had this gal. She was at one of those Kamala Harris events, and she was talking about how Shapiro should be the new, the great new vice president and all that stuff. And she was wearing like this cat makeup and face and all that. My comment was, I bet if you kicked her purse, you'd hear her damn pharmacy.
No.
Yeah.
And it went viral.
Well, she goes, I'm very happy. I love my cats. And I said, happy? Yeah, I'm sure. If you kicked her purse, you'd hear her pharmacy. Anyway.
Yeah.
That's pretty. I always go for the.
There you go.
I always go for that one right there. Anyway.
With that announcement, it's going to be interesting.
I got a lot to say to the big man once I get up there, dude.
Yeah.
Holy shit, man.
You're going to have a lot to talk.
My God. He's like, what are you doing, man? I'm like, I don't know.
William, we're going to have a talk, my friend.
Yeah. I'll be sitting there freaking bitten, eating everything. All right. Let me hear it. Let me hear it.
Okay. Here we go.
All right, man.
I still, you guys, this election, and whether it's freaking Harris, whether it's Biden, whether it's Trump, it's just, this election is just, this is crazy. From what I heard, is there the reports that there's issues between JD Vance and Trump? Or is that just a bunch of fake news? Is that fake news, or is there something? No,
it's not fake news. He may potentially even end up dumping JD. My personal opinion, and this is just me, and well, maybe the chat could chime in here, but I thought maybe the better choice would have actually been Tulsi Gabbard.
Because she can cross. She's a moderate,
right? But at the same time, it would kind of help with solidifying. So a lot of you probably you follow the veteran circle as well as I do, and a lot of the votes that Trump is kind of leaning on are also veterans, but there's a lot of veterans that do not like Trump at all, especially for what he did during the COVID time. And then Tulsi, she's a battalion commander now, and she's been there, done that. She was also enlisted. She wasn't just an officer, so she knows, what the Joes are like. And not only that, but you also help with the women vote as well. And I think that's very important. I think that is, especially with Trump, because he's very off-putting, dude.
Yes,
he is.
That's the problem with him. He needs to shut up. He's his own worst enemy. It's like open mouth, insert foot every time he gets up to a podium. It's like, dude, just shut up.
He sounded good for about a whole 2 or 3 months where he just shut up and he was even keel. I don't want to hear you bashing the other person. I want to hear how you're going to fix things, man.
I'm tired of it. That's what I said. You got to speak to the issues, man. You got to speak to the issues. That's what voters want to hear, man. Not this damn constant stupidity. It's like, come on. Right. I'm tired. Because you know what's going to happen? Look, I would not be surprised one bit if Vice President Harris actually gets elected president. I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised. You know why? And a lot of it is because Trump will just shoot himself in the foot. Because it's going to be a vote of, not because I support Harris, but I can't stand Trump.
Right. It's
going to happen.
To be honest, to be completely honest, this is his election to lose. It really is. And, Cryptic in here, okay, I get you, man. VP, LOL. But again, the VP will help you suck up some... It's your running mate, right? It's somebody that's going to help you suck up some more votes from maybe a fringe or a minority base you would not have otherwise. Man, I don't know, man. I think
Hope says I was a lifelong Republican. Oh, my voting life until Trump came along. I can understand that. There's a large segment of the Republican Party
that's true,
that do not like Trump, and I understand. I can understand that. What I liked about him in 2016
you'd be surprised,
was it felt like it was going to be someone different, not just your normal politician. Because I'm tired of your normal everyday politician, because it's not about public service. It's not what's quote unquote belly. It's going to be whatever's going to keep. You're going to do whatever you're going to do to try to stay in office, and that's just that's the wrong attitude to take when you want to run for public service.
But here's how dumb our country has become now. the rhetoric from the left side right now against JD Vance is, well, he's just weird.
Yeah.
Okay, you got any more than that? That's all you got? There's no reason to. You're not going to change my opinion of anybody.
Right.
But it does with these other people. People, I mean, man, I don't know what's going on in this country. I don't know if the fluoride or what. The frogs are turning gay because the water's making the frogs turn gay. Or some weird stuff like that. I don't know, but I mean, it seems like, man, we've entered a whole new realm of weirdness here. I think partially blame, like we talked about before, is definitely social media.
Social media, man.
These
I'm
stupid
telling you,
little
it's
weird
just...
TikTok sound bites. They're weird. They're weird. You know, you hear that 24/7. Next thing you know, you're programmed to think, well, they're weird.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know, man. Look, has Kamala done anything? She's been when you're vice president, you don't do nothing,
see her
man.
road to the White House?
That's the thing. When you're vice president, no matter which vice president it is, they don't do nothing until something happens to the president.
Right.
Luckily, well, I shouldn't say luckily, because there was a vice president who took Andrew Johnson after Lincoln was assassinated. The guy was horrible. But I mean, yeah, Teddy Roosevelt, he was able to get
Johnson was
Lyndon B. Johnson. Both Roosevelt, not only did he take over from McKinley, but he also was able to get reelected. Same thing with LBJ, took over for Kennedy and was able to get reelected. But
he fucked this country up.
Normally, as a VP, you're not doing nothing, man. You're out of sight, out of mind. You're just, you're cutting red ribbons for opening certain governmental offices somewhere. I mean, you're not doing much. So here's the thing, and I talked about this before. That being said, is there's nothing to attack Vice President Harris with. Not recently. Okay, can you go back to when she was Attorney General for California, District Attorney for San Francisco? Sure, you could go to attack that. But is that going to resonate for the rest of the nation? It might resonate for people in California, but is it going to resonate for the people in California or in the rest of the nation? She hasn't done nothing. So it's easy, if you don't have nothing necessarily to, as far as issues are concerned, there's certain things that she said, but how is that going to translate in trying to pull that vote away from Harris and towards Trump or vice versa? It's gonna be.
If you bring up the fact, like I said in the last show, or maybe the show prior to that, if you bring up the fact that, the whole Willie Brown thing, well, now these days that's a double-edged sword, right? So now you might even lose more, and that's why I think Tulsi would probably have been maybe if she came out and said that herself, rather.
But you know what? That's to me, that's a non-factor.
You think so?
Who cares what you do in your freaking personal life, really? Some people don't, but that's the thing, is when you're being elected, I want to know what you're going to do for the country. You know what I'm saying? Look, it's
Nikki Haley with the lobbyists.
Look at, let's go this route. Are you telling me men haven't done the same damn thing?
Hey man, no,
you know what I'm saying?
I'm not at all.
That's what I'm saying. So that to me is
JFK.
Total
Look, JFK and Nancy Pelosi were getting it on a long time ago.
Yeah, see?
So,
but that does, to me, as a voter, that's just personal stuff. That from again, unless you're a total freaking scumbag, if you're you know what I'm saying? If you're a total freaking scumbag, then I'm not. Then character matters. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
I'm not saying character doesn't matter, but I want a president who's got.
I think what I'm trying to say is I'd rather have somebody come be on the merits. I think that's probably the most eloquent term to come up with.
Yeah.
You got to where you were on the merits, just like you would.
Yes, that's fine.
Somebody in,
And that's fine. I get that. That makes sense. Merit matters. Merit does matter.
Yes, Kyle, they do.
But I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen.
This is going to be a really weird
it's going to be quite interesting.
The best thing we could do, guys. So here's the thing, just don't make this sound defeatist in any way. But if the other side wins, and I don't think everybody in here votes the same way either, so yeah, this goes for everybody, really. Mm-hmm. Look, your life won't change a whole hell of a lot, and at least I hope it doesn't.
No, it's not. Not these days.
So,
back in the old days when it seemed like the country is like a little, I don't know how to explain it. It seemed like the president factored a little bit more than it does today. I don't know why it is. I don't know.
It almost seems
happened.
like these days, really, the power really kind of lies actually kind of where it should be: the House of Representatives,
House of Representatives,
and the Senate.
Yeah.
And then you got the Supreme Court. In fact, right now, you could almost say that the executive branch, that presidents have less power now, and this is probably a good thing than they ever had before.
It might be, yeah. That's you know what, you might that's something that's valid there, Will.
There might be something to look at, maybe debate for another time. It might be a show to do, maybe to see throughout the 3 years of the United States. Because remember George Washington, they were looking at him to be almost like a king.
They wanted him to almost be a king.
They want him to be a monarch.
Yes, he didn't want anything to do with that. That they just had a 7-year war to get out from underfoot of a damn monarch. You don't want to go right back to it. But another thing that's happened, especially these last two presidents, both Donald Trump and President Biden, one thing that they did a lot during their term is these damn executive orders. They were throwing executive order, and that's the problem, because now you set a precedent. It started, don't get me wrong, executive what do you call it? Oh, what the hell did I just said? Executive orders have always been around, but the amount that was being used under Trump and Biden was absolutely incredible. I mean, it was like
Obama. Oh my God.
Did it. Obama did it. Yes, Obama did it as well. And you got to be careful doing that, because you set precedent, and then it could really that can affect people's lives.
That's where you need a good Supreme Court to come in there and kind of do something needs to be reformed there. That would take both. They would take the Supreme Court, the representatives, and the Senate to get together and put something like that together, But
and you know how fast that works.
Oh man, now you wouldn't see that for another 100 years.
Well, yeah, and the courts don't want to slap the. Well, the thing is that the purpose of the courts is just to interpret the law. Does it follow 100%. The Constitution? That's it. They're not supposed to legislate. They're just the arbiters of, does this law follow the Constitution? That's all they're supposed to do. They're not supposed to drive policy.
I guess the best way of saying it for our level, just as you, me, as little peon civilians, would be like your local district attorney. They're there to prosecute the law they have for their statutes and their books, and that is it. And that's 100%.
Yep. So it's going to be interesting. I mean, we got into a little bit here with the politics. I don't like to spend too much time on that, but I mean, it's the president on this. It's a presidential election. It's going to be important, and it's going to be interesting to see how this pans out. Is there going to be a debate? I haven't heard anything. Is there a debate?
Yeah, August 10th, I believe it was the scheduled debate.
Is it? Take a look at it.
Okay.
Wow. So they're going to have it before the convention.
I'm pretty sure there was a scheduled debate.
Interesting. Yeah, I guess they did have that one before the Republican convention.
Second, looking this sucker up.
All right, what else do we got out there? Anyone have questions out there? Kind of what we've been talking about. Let me take a look at Twitter, see if anything new is going on out there. I don't know if there is.
Excuse me. So it was regularly scheduled to be September 10th. Okay. So it remains to be seen whether or not she adheres. So that was supposed to be with Biden. So it remains to be seen if that's going to be with Harris or not. So September 10th was supposed to be the next debate.
September 10th. Got it.
September
so after the Democratic National Convention.
Roger that. Hold on a second. I will give you that answer. Yeah.
Ooh, interesting.
Who was Mark? I hope it's CNN again, because they did a really good job. It feels funny saying that, but man, they did a good.
How about that? Oh, here's an interesting tweet.
ABC.
Trump won't debate until he's down in the polls. Really? I'm going to show this. This is quite interesting. Historian Sergei Radchenko had reposted this. Just 1.5% of Russia's political prisoners were freed today. Let's not forget about the other 98.5%. Today's prisoner swap freed 11 of Russia's political prisoners, just over 1% of the estimated 700 serving sentences for political reasons. There you go, per OVD info. And this does not even include those awaiting trial. A happy day, but a small step, with hundreds still behind bars.
Wow.
Well, here you go. Exchange, anti-war, other. Look at the other political prisoners. Anti-war is all in the blue. Oh, and then it shows you the bigger the circle, the longer that they've been in prison.
So
quite interesting.
Disha
has a card. Let me take a look. Where are we at?
It says, Roma, what has Kamala said since being the new nominee? What questions has she answered?
I don't think she's done anything, has she? To be honest with you.
Kind of pulling weird.
You know what? All you got to do, probably got to do what Biden did. Don't say much, because Trump will just open his mouth. That's all you have to do. Just let, hey, thanks, AB. Just let Trump do his thing, and then it's going to help her. The least you say right now, it seems the least you say, the better off she is.
Exactly.
I agree with it?
You know what? That's exactly it. With a guy like Trump, if you go out there and you give a whole paragraph of shit, he'll go through the line by line and needle through it and just give his rhetoric and spitball it right back in your face.
Yep.
Yep. You're right, man. Best thing
and
to
here's
do
the
is
thing.
Sit on your hands for right now.
Do I agree that you shouldn't say nothing? No, you got to go out there and you got to make your voice heard. But if you're talking about winning an election, it's more about strategy for them. Because look at your opponent. Your opponent is basically just.
Well, look what Trump does with silence. He can't help himself.
He can't.
He'll go out there and start attacking for no reason. He doesn't need to attack at all. He'll just go ahead and do it because he can't help. He can't stand silence from the other person.
And what's incredible is, after that incident of almost losing his life, I thought maybe he'd get a little humility.
No.
Not one iota.
Today's my last day with the bandage.
One iota.
Come on, man. Let's let it go. It's all good.
Oh, wait. Hold on. Where did I saw this? Is it going to be on? It might be on Twitter. Hold on.
Oh, I agree with you, Cryptic. I'm the same way, homie. If I could stay non-involved, I will be. But there's certain things I don't put up with, and that what you just talked about is one of those dumb effing things. Pardon the French, boys.
Where the hell? Oh, here it is, right here.
100% PMG. 100%, man. You don't need to do anything. Let the guy talk. He'll bury himself.
Here's something that's kind of cool. See if you know what this is. Boom, 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 boom.
Open chain.
Slow motion.
Hopes and dreams,
a Flight 5 Starship's 6 Raptor engines
up
during a static fire. Again, okay, just to recap.
Wait, hold on. No way. Am I reading that right? A static fire? Okay.
It's a static fire. So it's just they're testing engines.
Right.
Because what happened is on the Starship, okay, remember we talked about Starship. There's 2 parts to this. You got the booster, which is the big, giant part of the rocket that gets the ship into orbit, right?
Roger.
Now, this is the ship that once it's in orbit, it will deliver whatever payload it needs. And this is also the same vehicle that's going to land on the moon and eventually land on Mars. Eventually. But what happened was they replaced all the tiles, the heating or the heat tiles on the ship. They replaced them all, so now they're going to do a static fire, make sure everything is good to go. And this is actually pretty cool. Here we go.
Do it.
So it's 6 Raptor engines. Those 3 big ones are your vacuum Raptors, which are
Dude, that is beautiful. Oh,
which are optimized for operating in outer space. And then you got the 3 center sea-level Raptors.
That is so freaking cool.
So all 3 of those touch off first. We'll go on ice coming off.
Yeah.
And now you'll see the center.
Is that liquid oxygen tanks that they have there that's producing that ice?
Yeah, it's frozen on the tank because it's
okay.
filled up with liquid ox and liquid methane. And here come the center Raptors. Boom. Now those are lit up.
Oh,
So now that's all 6. It was a 5-second static fire, but because of the slow motion, this is like 3 minutes long. Pretty damn cool.
that is pretty damn bad.
I don't know how that camera survived.
Well, hell, even back in the 70s, they were doing this, you know, or 60s. Excuse me. What the hell am I talking about? They were doing this in the 60s.
Oh, I love that stuff, man. Look at them just blow. You can see the mock rings a little bit coming down here.
That reminds me, I got to get a hold of Audie on Twitter so I can send him some Apollo stuff. I'm pretty sure he'd appreciate that.
But this is going to be the next ship that launches. Supposedly, it's going to launch in either late August or early September.
That's cool, man.
And they're in the middle of building the second launch tower.
Oh, PMG's asking to zoom in a little bit if you can. Can you make it full screen?
I can't see it right now, so I'm just watching the video.
Oh, yeah, okay, you're good as you got. Roger.
Incredible. Holy crap, man.
That sound.
Imagine what that must have sounded like if it wasn't muffled.
I could go to sleep with that sound.
I know, right?
Isn't that weird? But it is.
It's got that, yeah, it's got that.
And a lot for IU signs.
Funny how
Steve,
you
you think IU's gonna stay? I don't know, man. I prefer to have IU. I'm gonna be that guy. I would hope IU stays over Debo, but not this way.
When I was an instructor in the Air Force, one of the blocks I would take was a high pressure air compressor. It's called high pack. It pressurized up to like 5,000 psi, air up to 5,000 psi. And we'd run them in the lab. We had a lab and run them on. There's like 4 of them in there. When the students are operating them,
yeah.
It's like, but when you're just sitting at the table, the other students, they're, while the other students are operating, they're supposed to be at the table and they're studying whatever. But when those things are running for so long, you see the students get those heavy eyes. It's exactly the same thing. Of course, then I drop a tow bar and then they go, oh my God. Anyways, there we go. Where are we at? What do you got in here? So launch before Ayuk signs.
I think the loudest thing I ever did. I told you this story. I think it was in the green room though. I don't know if I want to tell it here, unless these guys are interested. It's a military story. It's that time I wasn't wearing ear pro and I closed my mouth on accident.
Oh, and then you almost knocked yourself out.
Ring. I'm like, oh.
Ring.
I couldn't. I was on the live fire range too, and I couldn't hear shit.
And you're supposed to hear
directions, man.
Acting like you know what you're doing, right?
Oh man, you got to. There's no other way to do it. You got to fake the phone.
Let's see.
Right. We got here.
Oh my goodness. What do we got in here? What do we got in the chat, guys? Not a whole lot going on, right?
Think you guys got anything else for us, or we'll wrap it up otherwise?
Not bad. Oh, what? Can't have a damn. Hold on. You can't have a military.
We've only gone for 1 hour and 21 minutes. Damn, we usually go about at least 1:30 or an hour 30.
Let's see, man. You know what? Since we're on Military History Chronicles, and it's my damn.
It's your damn channel.
My damn channel.
We're gonna go down some war porn.
No.
Oh.
This.
Good.
Love this. Every time. I gotta play it at least once a time. Once a show. do that push button. And the last one. Here we go. After that, yeah, I can hit up one nice one.
Yeah.
You the horn is it that dumbass in that green shirt?
Oh yeah.
Man, dude. I was so happy I got this.
I felt it.
That kid always gets me every time. I felt it. Yeah, that was impressive. Man, if you guys ever get a chance to see the big boy, whoo, if you're into steam locomotives, man, that's like a bucket list for steam locomotives right there. Can you put Farhan in front of that? Damn, man, don't sugarcoat it or nothing. Tell me how you really feel about Farhan, Eric.
I'm back.
Giants news. I guess they called up Encarnacion, and I guess they sent VR on his way. So let's see what Encarnacion could do for the San Francisco Giants. He's been raking.
Hope he does well.
AAA. I wish him success. The Giants need to hit because the last couple of games really haven't been hitting. Something I talked about on Giants Sports Talk Live was the inconsistency. Been saying that for quite a while. If they hit, they can't pitch. If they pitch, they can't hit. It's never both of them in line with each other.
Nope.
Gosh, dang it, man.
It be what it be, man. Those are our Giants right now.
And Steve-O, yeah, he sums it up. Giants suck. That's about it. Yeah, pretty much.
Hey, man, until there's some serious changes at the top. This is what we're going to be eating. We're going to be eating this turd sandwich for the next.
Oh, no. What did he say on Cam? Now you're going to make me go to Twitter.
Do it. Might as well. You need research.
What did he say anyways. On KMBR? I'm guessing it may be on Twitter. We'll see.
Oh. Hey, Jim's back. Right on.
Let's see.
Jim, I saw you and Rudy and old giving Rombo yesterday, man. Jesus.
Wait, what's this? Hold on. Let me just read this real quick here.
What's up? What's your dumbassery?
Let's okay, I see that one.
Farhan said, man, freaking Beavis. Fucking. Oh, man. Let's be honest. I mean, let's think about it for a second, guys. As a whole group here, chat, if you're interviewing this guy, like, what would stick out to you? I mean, for me, just be like, wow, this guy's kind of it's not a bad thing to be a nerd, but I mean, like, there's nothing that really stick out to me. Hope said he totally ignored talking about the poor hitting.
Let's see. He's just talking about the pitching. Exactly what Hope was saying. We had some interest in Blake. The contract structure complicated things a bit. We weren't ready to wave the white flag unless we got something really compelling. What does that mean, Farhan?
The white flag? So, okay, so you think Snell's really going to stick around?
I'm just going to point to the pitching. The offense is a little bit more of a question. See, he's just not even talking about the lineup. With the guys we have, if we can get a couple of guys hot and healthy, even the best offenses, you're going to have a good series and bad series. You're going to have good series and bad series. The one thing that can keep you competitive is pitching. Talking about Kyle Harrison and Birdsong reaching uncharted territory in terms of innings totals. We expect them both to be in the rotation the rest of the way. Okay. We'll see what happens. Talking about Luciano. And then he goes on talking about Blake Snell. The key for us was keeping our rotation intact. Is it an aggressive move to trade Blake Snell, or is it aggressive to hold Blake Snell? I understand that transactions excite people. You want to see news. It's not about seeing news, Farhan. It's not about seeing news, man. Holding isn't the sexiest thing. I understand that. The story of the season is going to be how we play down the stretch. I think there is an aggression in holding our cards in the position we're in and trusting the fact that our starting rotation has a chance to carry us. You see?
So all he wants to do is get a wild card spot. That's all he wants. That's his whole mission. And somehow I think that's going to save his ass. I hope it doesn't. I really hope it doesn't.
And he's saying this as you enter into August, which is the dog days of summer.
Dude, we're already 3/4 of the way through this SOB.
I mean, you're going to hang your hat on Ray, who may have some hiccups because of, coming back from Tommy John.
Dude, he's going to
rely on two pitches.
Look at Garrett Cole.
Garrett, yeah, he's got fatigue.
Great example. Up and down, up and down.
You got Harrison and you got Birdsong. I like both of them. But my issue is, are they going to break down when they start pitching more innings? That is a viable question to ask.
How many innings?
I want to see them succeed. But I worry about their ability to get deep into the. No, it was fine. It wasn't bad.
That was pretty bad, huh?
No, it wasn't bad. It wasn't. It's just a boom.
Okay.
Then again, I'm
in my ears. I heard. I'm like, oh, shit, like a bell.
But I don't know. Your Zaidi is biting off a lot by saying that.
How many innings pitched does Harrison have right now?
Let's take a look. Let's see how many innings pitched he has. He is currently at, minimize it, 97.
Okay.
Currently at 97. His career is 132 because of Dieter taking it. So, a big chunk of that was just this year, of course, because he only had a couple of starts last year. Now, Birdsong, he's got a little bit more he can go. But again, this is the first time they're in the MLB. It's a little bit different. And granted, Birdsong, the one good thing about Birdsong that he was doing in the minors, he was pitching, 90 pitches approximately. Mm-hmm. But that's the first time he's done that. So when you're at the MLB level, there's a chance that there could be some type of fatigue, especially when the dog days. Remember, they're going to be in Cincinnati and they're going to be in Washington. Both of those places are warm and humid. If you're not used to pitching in warm and humid conditions, and you're getting late into the season because you've got a lot of mileage on your arm from the season, it could play a factor. Not saying it will, but it could.
Well, I'll tell you from my experience, not just being a former soldier, but an athlete as well. When it gets real cold and you get real humid, guess what? You hurt. You hurt real bad.
100%. 100%.
It sucks, man. It sucks to wake up in the morning sometimes. But here's the other thing too.
Go ahead. No, go. Okay,
I'll go, and we're done. All right. So Snell, he's gonna light it up, but you're giving him the chance this whole rest next of the season to be courted by everybody else that's gonna be in contention. Dumbass move. Great job, Farhan. You're a moron. Anyways, cool.
Yeah, I know. I don't know why he didn't try to move him. Whatever.
Eat the contract if you have to.
And not only that, you still held on to Conforto and Yaz. You could have traded them. Yaz, fuck. I think you would have got more from Yaz because Yaz is having an okay season, right? Conforto, he's absolute dog crap. But trade him, man. But whatever.
Anyways.
Whatever. For those of you who are in the chat and don't know, make sure you sign up, if you would, to Giant Sports Talk Live. It's a brand new channel that me and Glenn got going on here. It's Giants Talk 365 days a year. Yeah, you heard that right. 365 days. Even on Christmas, you will see a show from Giants Sports Talk Live. You can see right there, we just had that special edition. We had the founder, Tim Veriglio, who founded this organization called Signatures for Soldiers. Go check it out. It's really good. It's a great cause. He helps out disabled veterans and also homeless veterans. All his proceeds that he generates from selling sports memorabilia go to help veterans, which is fantastic.
And a lot of his stuff that he said he's selling is about $4 to $5. So if you can afford $4 to $5, it all at the end of the day, it all adds up. It goes to a good cause.
Yep. And he even, and I didn't even know he was going to do this. He actually donated a Madison Bumgarner and Buster Posey.
Shut up, Kyle.
A Buster Posey and Madison Bumgarner baseball card captures the image of winning Game 7 of the 2014 World Series. So, hey, thanks, Spencer. Much appreciated, buddy. Thank you. We usually go live every day. We're around 8 o'clock, so we usually go about 2 hours. We had a long one for the deadline. That was a lot of fun. Of course, we're able to go 8 o'clock when we're back in there in the Midwest and the East Coast. It's easy to go on at 8 o'clock, so we usually go 8 to 10. When they're back home, it's going to be a little bit of a late start time because a lot of times the games don't end until anywhere between 9:15 to even 10 o'clock when they have those 17:15 starts on Fridays. But yeah. Oh yeah, today was Madison Bummer. I forgot about that. It was Mad Bum's birthday today. He turned 35. And again, brother. Spencer, so you know, Madison Bumgarner is one of the biggest donators of sports memorabilia to Signatures for Soldiers. And we talked about that on the show.
Yeah.
Pretty fantastic. Guy sends a bunch of stuff to Tim all the time. Yep. So anyways, yeah, much appreciated if you guys go sub, check it out. If you like it, hey, that's fantastic. If you don't, well, that's fine too. It's not for everybody. If you feel like we could do something different, just let us know. We're open to feedback. If we need to conduct a show differently, however it may be, hey, just let us know. We're there for the fans. I love, and I think you guys understand this. When I was on NorCal, now that I'm on Giant Sports Talk Live, I absolutely enjoy interacting with you guys in the chat. It just feels like we're in a big room all talking baseball. On this particular channel, you know, we're talking military history and also some other stuff, but it's just having conversations, and I absolutely enjoy doing that. So go ahead.
From the outside in, you know, being a guy that I'm in the chat with you guys as well, I have to say one of the coolest things so far is I think we have the best chat on Giant Sports Talk anywhere else. I mean, it's a really great group of men and women. It's awesome. You guys are great.
It's fun. I enjoy it, man.
Oh man, it's a hell of a lot of fun. Hell yeah, that's what it's all about, man. That's what it's all about.
Yep. All right, guys. Until the next one. I think the next one, I don't know. We'll see what happens. Depending what happens in the Middle East, if it starts blowing up over there.
Sorry, man.
No, it's all good. If it starts blowing up over there, then we'll probably have a special show. I'll have to figure a way to figure it in there because it may blow up. We'll see what happens. Anyways, guys, I appreciate the support. Will, thanks for showing up. It was a fun talk. Kind of, you know, some of it was kind of similar to what I've been talking about all the time. It seems like it keeps getting bigger and bigger with the stuff in Venezuela, with the tension still brewing in the Middle East. It's not calming down. It's getting worse.
That's the thing.
It's something that we've said on this channel a lot, that it's not going to end with just that Hamas. You know, it's not going to end with Israel versus Hamas. It's going to get bigger. It's gotten bigger, and it's probably going to get even bigger, but we'll see what happens. Just keep tuned here on Military History Chronicles, and we'll keep covering this stuff. And like I said, I'll have other topics, of course. My last show was on American Civil War, my favorite stuff.
That was a really good one.
Yeah, I talked about Vicksburg. I enjoy it. You know me in the Civil War, man. I love
anytime you talk Civil War, I do one of these. Hands off, man. Yeah. Let them go. Let them go. There you go. Let them go.
Yep. Yeah, the old music. See, the thing is, I might get copyright strikes on that because it's an old music, and I don't think I don't have a unlimited time frame to use it, so I think I might eventually get popped. So I'm using music that will be good forever, and I don't have to worry about no copyright. Thanks, Andrew. Thanks, Hope. Much appreciated. D-Shot, again, appreciate it. Kyle, again, we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks, Will.
Yeah, man.
See ya.
Deuces.